So I'm gonna show you guys how to eat more in one sitting. Right here is 3 Reubens from Culver's and a Pepsi, which is about 2,400 calories. And so, you guys don't know, I put on about 70 pounds in a little over a year. And so, it's a lot of force feeding. I mean, just like everything else, you have to grow your stomach too. Like, it's not a coincidence that a lot of obese people have big stomachs as well. To get big, you have to eat big, straight up. You have to eat a lot of food to get to the weight that they're at. You know, if you're 450 pounds, you got to eat a lot of food. You can't get there by accident. So, the first thing when you want to eat more food in one sitting is don't drink any liquids about an hour before you eat. Because the more you fill your stomach up with liquids, it's very dense sitting in your stomach. So your stomach is going to feel more full than it actually is, especially water. If you drink a bunch of water right before, that's 0 calories sitting in your stomach, and it's taking up a lot of space in your stomach. This stuff, when you chew it down and you break it down, it settles in your stomach. Liquid is as dense as it's going to get. That doesn't have to settle. That just sits in your stomach. So avoid liquids right before you eat. Usually, I'll eat as much as possible right at the beginning, and then I'll drink my liquids at the end. You know, once it's getting hard, then you start pushing food down and with the liquid. So let's begin. We got Reuben number 1. Alright, so the first Reuben is down. One of the most important things you can do when eating a lot is you have to eat pretty quick. You have to pace yourself, obviously. Don't shove it down, but you need to eat at a pretty brisk pace. Alright, Reuben number 2. Alright, there is Reuben number 2. So, a tip to stimulate hunger as well, if you aren't doing it, is doing a little bit of cardio. 15 minutes of cardio a day, you burn 100 calories, but you get really hungry, and in turn, you're able to eat a little bit more calories. So, a little bit of physical activity, cardio. Working out will do it, but it's not as aerobic. So, doing some cardio and building up a sweat will stimulate hunger, and so you will actually be hungrier. Whew. Alright, so I'm on this little last portion here. I ain't gonna lie, it's getting a little bit tough. This is where I add in some liquid. The reason I do pop is because it tastes good and it has a little bit extra calories. So I always drink a pop before the gym. Number 1 is because it has a little bit of caffeine, gives you a little bit of energy. But number 2 is that it has carbs in it, which your muscles need for when you're working out. So drinking a pop here will not only add 150 calories, but I'd like to work out, you know, within an hour from now. So that's why I'm choosing a pop. But you can choose water. I always drink sparkling water when I'm eating my meals. And so another thing is a lot of people will ask me, you know, you eat all this food, how do you not throw up? And I'm not going to lie, I've thrown up a lot. I've overate a lot and I have thrown up. It is possible. But similar to building muscle, you go to extreme failure, you are risking injury. In the same way with your stomach, you know, you are risking throwing up and losing all of that food that you just ate. But you're stretching out your stomach and you're building a tolerance to food to where you can eat more food and not feel full. There we go. There's 3 Reubens right there. And honestly, I could eat a little bit more. I could probably eat another half of one. But the point of this video is to show that there are people out there eating 6,000 to 7,000 calories a meal. There's guys like Matt Stoney or Eric the Electric. You can look these guys up on YouTube. These guys are 170 pounds, 160 pounds, and they're eating 7,000 calories in a meal. It's possible. You know, it's not like some genetic anomaly. You know, these guys still build their stomach tolerances to the point where they can eat that much food. So don't ever say it's impossible. Don't ever say, oh, you know, I can't eat that much, blah, blah, blah. Because you can. I don't think you just want it bad enough. I just think you're not willing to do what it takes to put on weight. You know, I'd argue if you cared enough, you would force feed. Is it kind of messed up? Is it kind of unhealthy? Yes, but that's the risk you're willing to pay to put on muscle. You know, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to put on weight? So that is 2,400 calories in one sitting. And that is about a normal meal. I try and eat about 3 of those a day. I'm not quite that size, but I usually try and eat about 3 2,000 calorie meals a day. And if you can't do that, it's okay. But listen to this. If you have a high metabolism and you get to a point where you're eating 2,000 calories a meal, the good thing about this is your metabolism stays the same and it actually increases. The bigger you get, the more weight you put on, the higher your metabolism is going to get. Okay? Because you need more calories to maintain that weight. And so the good thing about that is you're still going to be able to eat 2,000 calories in a meal. And within an hour, you're going to be hungry again. You know, just like the same way when those skinny guys, when I was skinny, can only eat about 500 to 700 calories a meal. But within an hour of eating, you're hungry again. Why is that? That is your metabolism. That's what that means. Your body is turning that into fuel quicker. You know, it has nothing to do with you keeping weight on or losing fat or nothing. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It means you turn your food into fuel quicker. So you could eat a meal and you will get hungrier quicker than that person with a slow metabolism. So take that and run with it. I mean, that's honestly a good thing, you know, because the bigger you get, yeah, you're going to have to eat bigger meals. That's natural. But you're still going to be hungrier than a person with a slow metabolism at that same body weight. So, there's some tips on how to eat more food in one sitting. I appreciate you guys. See you in the next video.